Hello and welcome to episode 2 of my Minecraft world. I'm so glad you could join me today. So I hold in my hand the script for today's episode, and you know what? Forget that. Let's just chuck that away. Okay. We're just going to improvise what we're going to do, and that's the way it is. Okay. So let's get right into it. So we're going to look at my storage system, the storage system that I've been working on for it's been ongoing for a little while. Anyway, let's have a look-see and show you what's going on here. So, wow, look at that. That's a lot of storage, isn't it? Well, you know what? That's not it, eh? Look, we got some more down here, and it just goes and goes and goes. So, what I want to do is just add one more area here to add as a sorting item. And this way, maybe you can kind of get an idea of how it's done. So let's just check to make sure we got the items that we need. And so these are going to be some of the items we're going to need. And let's go ahead and add that in there. So we'll come back here and pop up here. And yeah, this sorting system, you know what? It's the greatest thing I found on YouTube from many other users who have devoted a lot of their time to this. And you can see the system does kind of go on for, oh, I guess I can't get up there. Yeah, I guess I'm stuck down here. And I will go into more detail in another episode as to how this works. But you know what? You don't need me to do that because there's so many other people out there that have built these and have tutorials on them, and I don't want to go into that right now because I did. But anyway, we're just going to add one more piece to the puzzle, and what we want to add here is in these chests here, I have sandstone. Sandstone is you can make sandstone from sand, but you can also collect sandstone. And so I'd like to have that, you know, go into it, if I want to send it here and do that. So we're just going to, copy. And that's the thing about this. It's just a multiple of the same thing over and over again. And one of the tricks that you need to do is when you're placing some of these items, you can't just right click because you end up interacting with the item that you're close to. So if you want to set the hopper to point into it, the mechanism or the trick is to just hold down your shift key and pop. And there you go. So looks like I'm going to have to walk up back here again. I should probably just build some scaffolding in there, but hopefully I won't fall down as far. I might be able to reach it from here. So let's see. We can actually reach that. The reason why I've got two chests here, or a two chest system, is so that when the one chest fills up, the next chest will then start filling up. And you can build these up way pretty high, actually. So that's pretty cool. So we'll just go ahead and add one more here. And now we need to point the next item or the next hopper down into this one. So we just, again, shift and right click. Then we need to have the next one pointing into this one. You're going to have to shift and right click again. And finally, for this one here, this is kind of an interesting one because it needs to communicate with this comparator. Okay, comparators are going to be a whole other lesson. Now, in order to place that there, we actually will need to put a temporary block in front of it. And again, we just shift and right click, and then we can then go ahead and do that. And now that piece is pointing into that that block. And now we can just go ahead and remove that block, you know, you can see it kind of disappeared. It's just fallen into this hopper, and it's going to end up down in that chest. The next piece that we need is this is the sort of the input system that comes along through all the hoppers here. And as you can see, again, we're going to need to create a block because we want our hopper to face that way. We're going to need to just drop in a couple of blocks here to provide the ability so that we can, you know, do that, right? Again, you know, and this can continue on as far as you'd like it to go, really. I mean, there's nothing preventing that. So the next item here is we need to compare this hopper if it's received an item or not. Again, I don't want to go into too much tutorial version on this. I just want to go ahead and just you know, add this here. And like I said, you can you know, if you have trouble finding or trying to put this together, you know, feel free to leave me a message, and I will try to help you there. And that's the great thing about this game is everybody's there to help you, and that's great. Now before we let's just go ahead and finish this off. We need to drop some redstone down. And then the next thing we need to do is I need to drop down here. So I'm going to have to get rid of that block, and I'm going to have to get rid of that block. Okay. So, I went too far. Occupational hazard, as I like to say. Anyway, let's run back over here. We're going to have to do that. And we're going to need to put a repeater. It took me a second to figure that one out, to allow for this signal to push into this one without interfering with the one next to it. And then next to that, we're going to have to power the hopper. And to do that, we just want to go ahead and add a torch here. Now what this torch will do is it will actually turn this hopper, because it's lit up, it'll actually turn this hopper off. It won't allow any items to pass through it. And so when items are coming through and it detects that, oh, this is the area I want to drop into, the comparator will detect it, and it will send a signal down, which will then turn off this light to allow the items to pass through. Yeah, I know, it's pretty complicated, but a lot of fun, I can tell you that. Now, here's the final trick to being able to get this to work correctly, is the hopper that it makes comparison to, which is going to be this one right next to the comparator. It has to contain a certain amount of items to allow the items to pass through. And I don't know if this is a bug or a glitch or anything, but it requires 22 items to be to basically live within this hopper. And when it receives another item, it'll say, I'm too full, pass that item down to the next level. So I really don't know how that happens. And you know, I'm just looking at the one next to it just to compare, and you can see this is what I've learned is to set up in this order. It actually doesn't matter which order it is, as long as I think one of these has 18 and then you have 19, 20, 21, 22. I don't think it matters which order they come in. But I'm going to go ahead and just copy that that thing right there. So we have 22 of these sandstones. So we'll go ahead and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Now, if you're familiar with hoppers, you notice that none of these disappeared because the comparator didn't detect more than 22 items, so it never turned the... Yeah. So it never did turn the torch off to make any more items go through it. Okay, so we can test this now by placing some items in the input system, and this is the input system that would carry all the items through and check to see, do I belong here or do I belong there? And so let's go ahead and, oops, that's not the right thing. Let's go ahead and grab a piece of sandstone here that I already have. And if we drop one in here, you'll see, boom, it's disappeared on us. And I was a little slow there, but anyway, it's already gone through the calculation system to determine that, oh, that belongs down this row here. Oh, interesting thing. It will put one item in the very first hopper that it finds, and then the rest of them will go through, and I'll prove that to you. So again, our input system, the comparator system, and this sort of what do I do with it kind of thing. And so here we are, and I'll go ahead and pop in another piece of sandstone, and we'll do that. You see it's disappeared. It's not in that hopper. It's not added to this hopper, and it has not added to this hopper. You would think, should it take up all these spaces, but it won't. And then if we put it down there or check any of these other hoppers, you'll see that it has not stayed behind on any of those ones. So we can go and check the system, but of course I think I already have a bunch in here, so it's going to be well, there you go. You can see that's the one. Okay, let's take all of these out of here. There's that. There's some stones that went in there. But let's go and do that again. There's no sandstone in those chests at all. I hear some growling. And we'll go ahead and drop, we'll just drop one item in there. It's gone through the system now. And go ahead and check to see if that has arrived in its chest as we planned it to. And yeah, there it is. So this whole system here is connected to a couple of things that I created here. One of them is this railroad system that goes off to another town way down there, a desert town where you can get a lot of sand and sandstone. And so I have that going, but I've also put in a sort of a manual drop-off system, you know, if I forget to use the other system. So we can go ahead and put all these in there. Now you notice they don't disappear because I'm actually using a trap chest, and how you can tell is there's no this is red around the hinge, but if I open it up again, you can see that it's starting to as soon as you close the lid on the chest, it will start transferring the items, and you can stop it and then open it up and stuff like that. So if we come in here again, I believe the chest that we're coming into is also a trap chest, so it's not going to show. There you go, you can see the difference. Okay, so anyway, that's the storage system as it stands right now, and thank you for checking out the video, and we hope we see you again sometime soon. Take care. Bye.